So today we are presenting human growth and development, an aspect of mental development. And we are saying that mental development includes such abilities as attending, perceiving, observing, remembering, imagining, thinking, solving problems, and growth of intelligence, as well as the language. These abilities grow and mature with age or in different stages. And the stages, we begin with one, the infancy. The child at the infancy stage normally reacts to external stimuli, such as light, sound, and temperature. Perceptual skills develop during the first year. At this age, the child can be able to imitate, also discriminate, and recognize to some extent. The child is mostly engaged in manipulation of objects, and it gradually acquires a sense of form of shape, size, and color, and he also learns things through imitation, manipulation, and play. And he can be able to recognize known and unknown persons, though he or she fails to understand the difference between the fact and fiction. We move to the next stage, which is the early childhood. At this stage, the child will be able to contact with the environment. His or her contact with the environment will increase as they begin to explore things, and often asks why of everything. The child develops general intelligence, perception, memory, learning, problem solving, and language. At this stage also, the child begins to develop a language and is able to talk and form simple concepts. However, he has very little understanding of operations. Particularly, it is difficult for him to understand the reversibility of operations. For example, if water contained in a tall, narrow glass is poured into a small, broad glass, the child will judge that there was more water in the narrow glass than when it was poured into the broad glass. And also at this stage, which is normally it's marked by some form of egocentrism, that is the natural shift from sensor motor stage to logical and social egocentricity. He also fails to understand another point of view, and also the attitude is the I am, I, you, and R, and how can you be I and you and be you. We move to the next stage, which is the later childhood. And normally here the child there's a bit of mental development, which is rapidly growing, and also the child becomes more and more inquisitive, which indicates his thinking capacity. And thinking and imagination takes an active form at this stage. As per the views of Paget, this is the stage of concrete operations, which covers the period between 7 to 11 years. And also during this stage, the child also learns to organize systems of classification for the perceptions and concepts acquired by him or her. The child is also able to establish cause and effect relationship, and also able to develops better concepts of length, distance, time, area, and volume. The next stage we have is adolescence, and at this stage the child attains intellectual maturity. Intellectual maturation is the result of the interaction between maturation, experience, education, and training. And here memory and imagination increase to a considerable extent, and the adolescent can concentrate on any activity for a longer period, and also develops the ability to make decisions. According to the philosopher Piaget, this stage is also known as the stage of formal operations, which covers the period from 12 to 15 years. And at this stage, the youngster acquires the ability to think and reason beyond his own immediate world. So we are going to look at the educational implications. That is, the following points should be taken into consideration for proper mental development among children. Number one is that the children should be provided a variety of direct experiences before they can be expected to cope with abstract ideas and concepts. Another issue is that emphasis should be given to acquisition and the mastery of language, which is one of the aspects of mental development. Another thing is that emphasis should be given to the reading and writing ability of the children. We should also take that the children should be given an opportunity to learn through imitation and repetition. Also, remote learning should be discouraged. Let the child think and learn. That should be the approach to the process of education. Also, that students should be engaged in debates, discussions, seminars, creative writing competitions, so as to enable mental development. Also, greater importance should be given to the active participation of the students in classroom teaching. The children must be helped to form good habits and attitudes. Let's look at the common behavior problems among learners in Kenyan education institutions. We'll begin by looking at the truancy and absenteeism, and we know that some learners skip classes or are frequently absent from school without very valid reasons, and this can lead to a decline in academic performance and a lack of engagement in learning. Another issue that we have challenges that is bullying, where bullying, both physical and cyberbullying, can occur in schools, causing emotional distress, anxiety, and depression among victims. And this can also lead to reduced self-esteem and a hostile learning environment. There is also noted cheating and plagiarism, and which is a form of another form of academic dishonesty through cheating on exams, copying assignments, or plagiarizing content, which is a very prevalent issue in our learning institutions. It undermines the integrity of the education system and devalues the accomplishments of honest learners. We also have a challenge of drug and substance abuse, and the use of drug and substances, which include alcohol among students, has led to behavioral problems or poor academic performance and health issues. Substance abuse can also lead to criminal activities. Another challenge we've noted is disrespect for authority. Some learners have continued to display a lack of respect for teachers, school administrators, and other authority figures. And this has greatly disrupted learning environment and led to conflicts. We've also noted vandalism and theft, which is common in terms of damage to school property, or theft of belongings, and acts of vandalism, which has created a chaotic and unsafe school environment. There's also violence and aggression, which normally includes physical fights, bullying and aggressive behavior that can occur among learners, which poses safety risks and creates an unhealthy learning atmosphere. Let's look at the viable ways for TV institutions to deal with indiscipline among learners. One of the ways to deal with it is establishment of clear codes of conduct, and we've seen institutions develop and communicate comprehensive codes of conduct that outlines expected behavior, consequences for violations, and reporting mechanism. Another way is to implement character education programs. This involves integration of character education into the curriculum, which focuses on values, ethics, and responsible behavior. Use real-life scenarios to teach the importance of integrity. Another way is to do counseling and support services, and this entails providing access to counseling and support services for learners facing personal, emotional, or psychological challenges that may lead to indiscipline. So you must ensure that confidentiality and create a stigma-free environment. There's legal measures which institutions are taking in cases of severe misconduct, which involves collaboration with the relevant authorities such as the police and social services to ensure the safety of learners and the school community. Another way is that we have is community service in the institution. This involves assigning learners involved in indiscipline to community service or restitution activities as a way for them to learn responsibility and make amends for their actions. We have staff training, which involves equipping teachers and staff with strategies for managing classroom behavior and addressing discipline issues effectively, and also provide professional development opportunities for staff to learn about modern disciplinary approaches. Restorative justice practices. Consider restorative justice approaches that focus on repairing harm, restoring relationships, and fostering empathy among learners. These practices can be particularly effective in resolving conflicts. We have holistic education which promotes holistic education that addresses not only academic but also social and emotional development, which encourages learners to participate in extracurricular activities that build character and teamwork. And finally, we have legal measures in cases of severe misconduct. Collaboration with the relevant authorities such as the police and social services ensures the safety of learners and the school community. So next we will be able to look at the next topic, and thank you for listening.